Okay, if you remember, now we have a navigation, but it doesn't really look good. So what do we need to do? I am going to use uh, Bulma, because I think everybody knows Bootstrap mostly, and Bulma is something I like it. It's free, open source, and it's much smaller than Bootstrap, and it gives a lot of flexibility. And also behind the scenes, it's using Flexbox, which is my favorite. So we're going to use that one. So let's go to our terminal, and we're going to use npm install Bulma, and by doing that we're going to import Bulma to our modules, and then we can use it. And I think we are going to also write more Sass file. So one of the options are to use next Sass, but in this example I'm going to use node Sass, which is another package. So while it's doing this one, I'm going to create another folder called assets, and in assets I'm going to create another folder called let's call it Sass or SCSS, and here we are going to create a file called style.scss. Great. Now we have the Bulma, and we need to import it. Very simple. So let's see. As we all know, we're going to first thing first. We're going to use UTF-8 here, and also we're going to import. We're going to one step back, another step back. We're going to node modules. We're going to Bulma, and we have the Bulma.sass. Great. And what else? And I also like to use this font, which is a Nunito. Google font is free, and I like to use it, so we can use this font at the same time. I am going to just import the form and the font. And what else do we need to do? Just going, I forgot. That's why it just shows red, because I forgot to put a semicolon. I'm going to write something here, and so far now we haven't done anything specifically. We can't use the Bulma in our project because yes, we have imported, we put it in a style.css Sass, but we haven't compiled the file and we haven't used it. So next thing is I'm going to just add another package called node Sass. So npm install node Sass. While we're waiting for that one, I am going to package.json and create another script. So we can call it CSS build, and then what is going to be like. So CSS build, so we need to build it with the node Sass, and where the file is, it is going to be in assets and Sass and style.scss, and our output will be in a static /css/styles.css. And also in node Sass we can have the omit the source map. So I'm also going to add that one as well. Omit source map URL. So everything is fine to me. We can also add the watcher. So I'm going to add it here as well. So let's add it by CSS. So let's just close this one. We can see much better. CSS. Let's just use this one, watch, and also update this one to quotation. So CSS watch will be npm run CSS build dash 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 watch. So now if we change the file and with the watch command, it's going to pick it up and run the npm css build, which is this one, and it's going to give us a file in the statics css folder and style.css. So I am also going there in a statics. I'm going to create a directory called css. It's empty at the moment, but we will see in a few seconds. And now I'm going to run npm run css build. If everything is fine, now we should see a file here in a few seconds. So there we go. We have a style.css, and if I am going to also add a class name called testing for video, call it background pink. So if I run it one more time, now we should be able to see the file here. So everything is here, and if I go to the very bottom of the file, testing for video, now we have all the Bulma and whatever we add at the end of our file. So good, we don't need it at the moment. We need to find a way to import the file and use it in all our project. I am going to build it one more time because we just get rid of something. We don't need this one. Our package.json is in a good shape. We are going to work in a nav. We don't need this one. We don't need this one. So in the next video, we're going to just build, we're going to use the CSS file.